Hey guys, okay, so we are at week 6 of Wellness Wednesday. So I started this whole thing primarily to track the progress of what I'm doing as far as weight loss. This thing has been so funky on me all day. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so to track the progress of weight loss from the semaglutide injections. Other names for those are in Ozempic. And so, anyway, that's what I'm doing. We are at week 6. I am down 9 pounds. I'm very excited. Concerns that I have at this point, I really am not having side effects except the day that I take the shot, everything tastes like soap, which is really weird. But other than that, I'm not really having any side effects. I am supplementing with some collagen supplements, and I'm making sure that I'm eating and drinking lots of protein. I like protein shakes and then eating lots of protein. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself through this process. The other thing is that I have done that we've talked about is I'm sorry, the shots are through Forever Weight Loss with Sherry Nash, and they're amazing. And I would highly recommend if you're anything like me and have had a roller coaster as far as your weight in your adulthood. Also, like I really struggle with weight loss because I am 20 years out, 18 years out, something like that from a hysterectomy. And I'm off hormones now and all that good stuff. So, highly recommend. Yes, 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 yes. The second thing is through Transform You with Deborah Rogers, I did 5 weeks ago, I did hypnosis to work on my sugar addiction. It's 100% addiction. And at 5 weeks out, I'm still not having cravings. Now, I'm still eating sugar. Please don't take me wrong. It's the cravings that I'm not having. It's the feeling like I have to eat something sweet and I have to gorge on something sweet for like if I'm stressed or something like that. So I'm super excited about that as well. The other thing that I'm noticing with the shots and probably some with the hypnosis, that kind of thing, I'm just not thinking about food nearly as much, right? That is something that I'm starting to realize more and more and more that I just use to comfort myself and that kind of thing. We all know that health is way more than just our weight. It's way more than our physical health, right? Our health spans across our mental, physical, and spiritual health. And so I want to incorporate some of that in as well. While, I've finally tackled the weight issue progressively, I'm still working on the exercise. I'm not exercising as much as I would like at this point. But I think that probably goes into the mental health. So let's kind of jump over there. Last year, and I've not been shy about it, last year was very, very stressful for me. There was a lot that happened, and I am still kind of recovering from that. I'll be completely honest. I am dealing with some, I would say low grade. It's not like horrible, but definitely some depression and some anxiety of going through all of that. My body's kind of trying to recover. Not to mention it unearthed more things as far as from my past traumatic instances and those kinds of things that I've had to work through with CPT, or I'm sorry, diagnosed CPTSD. I had to work through with EMDR, and that is a really not invasive. It takes a lot out of you. And so I lately have been doing a lot of staying at home. And I think part of that's probably just because I'm, getting a little older and enjoy it a lot more. But however, like I spend a ton of time like planning events and doing events and that kind of stuff. But I'm also finding more and more that sometimes it's hard to get out because I'm just feeling tired. I'm just wanting to be myself. I'm just kind of wanting to process everything. And so on the emotional side, that's kind of what I'm going through right now. I'm probably in a more quiet time than I typically am, even though like I'm doing it. I'm doing the stuff, right? But I'm in a more quiet time as I kind of process through the stress and the changes and, all that kind of thing. And then on a spiritual realm, our spiritual side is just as important as everything as our physical and mental. And our spiritual side, regardless of what you believe, I know what I believe, right? But regardless of what you believe, that's something that we have to take seriously. We have to take that seriously. And over the last 7 years, you guys have kind of watched, not all 7 years, but you've kind of watched this progression. And I have made huge, significant changes. And the thing is, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy at all. But it's because that's the reason I've made huge, significant changes. And I love who I am. I would not change that, regardless of how frustrating and how painful and how all of that stuff, right? But I think a lot of that had to happen spiritually, right? It had to happen spiritually. And it came from just a really wrong, harmful view of what spirituality was. And I've had to kind of go through this to kind of, I mean, whether you believe in a higher being or not, the reality is like we have to evolve to get to next stages of life. You can compare it to anything you want, it has to happen. I very deeply believe spiritually, I've had to develop through this to get to where I'm going. And it's a beautiful thing. Last year was no exception. It's been a very quick process that I've had to grow so quickly on. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad it's not taking my entire life. The last few years have been not super fun at times, but I'm getting there. So across my health, I kind of got on a tangent there. Across my health, physical, mental, and spiritual, we're getting there, right? I'm losing the weight, which is great. It's something that I've struggled with. And so we're 9 pounds down. The sugar part of things is helping. I'm making sure I'm getting lots of sunlight every day as much as possible, walking the dogs, that kind of thing, right? Mental health, I'm giving myself grace. It just takes time to like process stuff and rest and that kind of thing, right? I'm giving myself grace. I'm putting in more boundaries as far as the time that I'm out of the apartment and the things that I don't have to do, I'm just not doing, right? And then spiritually, I'm growing. I'm learning who I am in this whole world and who I am as far as in my relationship with God and that kind of thing. And that is super important as well. So I just want to encourage you guys, not all pain means you're doing something wrong. Not all frustration means it has to be fixed immediately. That stuff often leads us to where we're going to go. I know it's scary. It takes us out of the control. Like, if I can just do this, then this will happen, right? We don't always have control. And that's where I've been the last 7 years. I've not had a lot of control over things, but it just keeps getting better and better. And so I wanted to bring you on this wellness journey so you could kind of see behind the scenes. I had no idea how I was going to react to these shots and that kind of thing. And so I'm very, 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 very excited to say that I'm finally losing weight, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the whole journey across the board. You guys have a fabulous day. I hope that whatever you're doing for Wellness Wednesday, you feel really good about it. We'll talk soon.